Mr. Dicken, I noticed in some of the information we have here in your initial talk, you told us a little bit about the number of options Americans have as the number of insurance companies involved has dropped. Could you recite the numbers again for the last couple of years and the number of options?
Sure. For plan options that would be on the different metal tiers that are offered through the exchanges, which could be silver or gold, we found that most consumers had 6 or more plan options. In the most recent years, the number of issuers that are offering plans has declined. And so we've seen that HHS has reported that this year, 21% of consumers have plan options, but only from one issuer, one insurance company.
Okay, so 21, you're in essence, you have a monopoly, correct? 21%?
For the exchanges, that there would be different silver or gold plans, but just from the same insurer.
And at this rate, how many, we don't know yet, but how many plans do you think will be out there for 2018?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of uncertainty as to what the future years will bring. Certainly, it's insurance companies, it's been very concentrated with many states having only 1 or 2 or 3 insurers having 80% of the market.
It shot up from like 5% to 21% in 1 year, correct?
I don't have the early numbers, but it has increased that more areas have only one issuer.
Is there any concern that some areas soon have no issuers?
Certainly, you know, it'd be important to make sure that consumers under the current system with the exchanges have plans that are available. You know, certainly that's a local decisions by the insurers in those areas.
Right, but if we've gone down from 3 or 4 or 5 options to 1 option, it stands to reason that it's entirely possible soon we're going to have no options, right?
That has not yet been experienced, but certainly a concern that there are fewer insurers.
Okay, and what effect on premiums does that have as the number of as the competition is disappearing?
Yeah, in general, would expect that less competition would mean less pressure on keeping.
And is that true? Premiums. Right.
You know, we've not done a causal study looking at that, but that certainly would be the expectation.
Premiums have shot up in this past year, correct?
On average, about 25% increase.
25%, which is, and I would say one of the reasons they shot up maybe is there no competition, right?
A range of issues for that, as the experience of exchanges has led some insurers to increase the premiums.
Right, and can you tell us why the number of insurance companies keeps disappearing?
I think there's a variety of reasons. A couple that have been mentioned today. Some of the plans that were available, such as co-op plans, have terminated operations. Some large national insurers have changed the markets that they're operating in or left the exchanges.
Yeah, they've left. Can you let us know why they've left? I mean, there must be some reason. You know, a few years ago they were apparently gung-ho, thought they could make a go of it. Now they can't. What happened?
Yeah, I think those are business decisions by the insurers as they've decided what markets and what their experience has been.
Well, they are businesses, but could you speculate for us why companies keep leaving the current market that was originally envisioned?
Yeah, certainly as they've learned more about the cost of individuals that they're covering and their relative premiums in that market, some have made business decisions that they're not going to compete in that market.
Oh, so it would seem that over time, given the current framework, insurance companies cannot operate, correct? Or they wouldn't keep pulling out. And no new insurance companies are jumping in, are they, largely?
There have been, we did look at new entrants and exits. We found that most of the exits were among smaller insurers. There have been some new entrants into the market as well.
Okay. Ms. Robinson, you looked at the grant funds, and reviews by the Inspector General identified money that need to be refunded to the federal government because it's not spent in accordance to your requirements. What's the status of your recommendations that money that was misspent be refunded to the federal government?
Thank you for that question. On the establishment grant funding, I believe most of those recommendations are still open, and we are following up on that, but I think those are still open recommendations.
Are they refunding the money?
Not as far as I know.
What efforts are they making to refund the money, or is this just considered par for the course now?
So we work with CMS to follow up on those recommendations. I don't have at my fingertips, but I'd be happy to follow up with you on any details about with respect to the specific amounts that we've identified.
Okay, and how many states did that include, do you know?
We looked at, if you just give me one moment, we looked at establishment grants at 6 states that we looked at.
Okay, were there problems in all 6, or?
Yes, we had problems in all 6. We had one other that did not have any problems.
Okay, all 6, 1 out of 7? Huh? Okay, thank you.
I thank the gentleman. The former chairman of the committee, we're glad to welcome. Gentleman from California is recognized.